Hello gamers and Spidey fans alike, welcome and thank you for tuning into the Spider Guy Gaming channel. So I've got something pretty awesome in store for you guys today. What I'm going to be doing is I will go through any Easter egg in the game which pertains to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or as it's known in its abbreviated form, the MCU. The MCU, as I really don't have to tell you, has become one of the biggest movie franchises of the last 50 years, 50 to 60 years. It is honestly up there now with Star Wars. You can't knock it anymore. Right, as you can see, I am wearing the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War and from Endgame. And now that I've said Endgame, I have to say my piece. If you have not seen Endgame yet, and you're a fan of this genre, okay, and you had plans to go and see it, but you haven't seen it yet, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Stop giving me these excuses, right, and your bullshit. The film has been in the cinemas for over a month now, okay? Do yourself a favor, make the time and go and see the film. Trust me, it is an experience. It is honestly an experience. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, I can't see how Marvel Studios are going to top Endgame. Whatever they're going to have to do to top it, I don't know. That's for smarter people than me to decide. But whatever they're going to do, it has to be epic. Because this was epic. And you got to go even more epic now. But enough about Endgame here. Let's move on with our Easter eggs. So the first one is right down in front of us. Let's go and see what this is. Boom, lands on the road. So first Easter egg on our stop is the Wakandan embassy. Now maybe 4 years ago I would have had to ask, oh, who here knows who Black Panther and Wakanda is? Nowadays I think the whole world knows who Black Panther is. I mean, judging how well the Black Panther movie did at the box office, I mean, Jesus Christ. And not only how much money it made, it is a really good film as well. It's a really good film. I'm sure that if you're watching this, you most probably have seen Black Panther. I'd be very surprised. Also, a little side fact here. Obviously, with Spider-Man being a photographer, you have a camera ability. You can take pictures. You have landmarks in the game that you take pictures of: Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and so on and so forth. Also, the same goes for any of the Marvel landmarks. So for example, there, you take a picture of the Wakandan embassy and you get a few little lines of dialogue from Spider-Man. Sometimes it's just him commenting on, like, oh, great picture. But other times he'll actually give you a little bit of backstory. So with the Wakanda thing, you take a picture of it and then he says something along the lines of, I wonder if King T'Challa was bitten by a radioactive panther. Not one of Spidey's best jokes, I'll be honest. This kind of thing where you're just sitting like, oh, dude, really? You made that joke? And he even kind of admits it himself, like, nah, that just sounds stupid. So moving away from the Wakandan embassy now, and onto our next one, which is in close vicinity. For one of the more street level heroes of the Marvel Universe. Not necessarily one of the most powerful characters, but definitely in a league of his own. That is, unless you didn't really like his Netflix show. But here we have the Rand Corporation. As you know, it's the company owned by Marvel superhero Danny Rand, also known as Iron Fist. So as I said, it's pretty awesome that Iron Fist and Black Panther exist in this gaming world, despite what people might think about Iron Fist due to his TV show. Like I say again, it's awesome to have that here. Moving on to our next one, we're going to be heading over to a section of New York City, as you can see there, called Hell's Kitchen. So now that you've seen the Rand Corporation and you can see I'm heading over to Hell's Kitchen. There's not many superheroes affiliated with Hell's Kitchen, so you know who I'm going to go and check out now. And if you don't know, you should know. You lot thought I was going to say, if you don't know, now you know, but I can't take the King's catchphrases. I try, but I can't. It's sacrilege. Here we are in Hell's Kitchen, ladies and gents, and we are outside Fogwell's gym from Marvel's Netflix, Daredevil. This is obviously the gym that Daredevil's dad trained in when he was still alive, and if you remember from Daredevil season 2, something kind of steamy happens in there between Daredevil and Elektra. I'm just going to leave it at that. You lot are not going to get any kind of details further on. Okay, if you want, go check it out. I ain't saying any more than what I already have. Moving over to the next one. Just around the corner, we have, once again, from Daredevil, Josie's Bar, where Matt Murdock and his friend Foggy Nelson and Karen Page like to come afterwards for a drink. Again, so awesome to have this in the game. Honestly, so awesome. And right around the corner, the creme de menthe, we have the offices of Nelson and Murdock. That should say avocados at law, not attorneys at law. Again, the fact that Daredevil is in this game, and one last Daredevil Easter egg. You go around the game and you collect backpacks, which Spidey's been leaving all over the city. And there's little bits in there where you, as you can see on the screen here, little tidbits, and just gives you a little bit of backstory into the history of this Spider-Man. And down here we have...
Oh yeah, that blind guy gave me his card in case Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer. Wait, hold on. If he's blind, how did he know I was Spider-Man?
So the man has just told you himself that Matt Murdock has gone up to him and given him his business card. So I can only hope and pray that in the sequel to this game we have either an interaction or a mission or something with Daredevil. They've set it up too well, and in today's day and age, as everybody knows, everything's connected, right? That's why the Marvel Cinematic Universe is as successful as it is. It's because that's what people like to see nowadays. They know that there's more than one superhero within 2 kilometers of what they're seeing that's going on right now. So they have, my opinion, they have to bring Daredevil in. If they don't, we'll see what happens, but I really feel like they have to bring him in. And our last stop in Hell's Kitchen, this is not a Daredevil Easter egg. Once again, you've seen the shows, you must know who I'm heading to see now. And here we are outside of Alias Investigations. Alias Investigations obviously being the business of one Jessica Jones. Miss Jessica Jones. By the way, I love Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is a perfect example, just like Guardians of the Galaxy, a character and a story which I was unfamiliar with. I only followed the stories of Spider-Man, the Hulk, Wolverine, some of the X-Men, maybe some of the Avengers. That was about it. The wider universe I didn't really bother that much with. And then watching Jessica Jones on Netflix, that season 1, oh my god, I thought that was brilliant. Like, if your job in this season was to get me interested in this character and wanting to see more of this character, you did your job 100%. 100%. So now moving on. So where are we now? We're in Hell's Kitchen. We've been here. Okay. Aha. Before I go too far, and since we're close. Well, closer than what we would have been to the very last one that I'll be showing you guys. Just a nice little trick here. As you're swinging around it, you can make Spidey do air tricks, as they call them in the game. Very simple. You just press the triangle and the circle button at the same time while you're swinging, as you've let go of your swing, sorry. You use your left analog stick. You can either press it up, down, left or right. to execute the 4 different moves that Spidey will come up with. So let's start first with the forward. You press forward and Spidey does a front roll. If you go to the left or to the right on your analog stick, he does a 360 twist in either direction. And again, you push your left analog stick down, he does a backflip or a moonsault, shooting star press, whatever you'd like to call it. And just to add a little bit of extra XP, if you're quick enough and you get enough height, you can do all 4 of those moves back to back. And it gets you like an extra 10 points on your XP, if I'm not mistaken. But here we are at our second to last Easter egg of the game. I think you know what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sanctum Sanctorum, also known as the home of one Dr. Stephen Strange. Now you'll remember the glass panel as the beginning of Infinity War when Hulk comes smashing through. That is the glass that Hulk comes smashing through. And once again, so awesome to know that Doctor Strange, the character of Doctor Strange, exists in this universe. And when I was saying about the photo thing, he takes a photo of this saying something about this house looks cool, but I get this, and he makes like a dramatic pause. He goes, I get this strange feeling. And I was just like, oh really, you get a strange feeling, do you? It's a little bit too on the nose for me. But I mean, at the same time, it's just a little line of dialogue. There's no mention of it afterwards, so it's such a tiny, minute detail. One Easter egg, while we're on the way to our last one Easter egg that I will say I'm very surprised didn't make it in the game was Luke Cage. As you've seen, we went to Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, 3 of the Defenders who had shows on Netflix, and arguably one of the most popular ones, Luke Cage, isn't in the game, even though Harlem's in the game, which honestly surprised the hell out of me, because once I saw the 3 other Easter eggs and I'm like, wait a minute, if these 3 are here and there's a Harlem in the game, there's got to be something for Luke Cage as well. But surprisingly there wasn't. So I don't know, maybe it's a thing they'll be saving it for the next game. Like I said about my Daredevil comment, I really hope that in the next game you get more of an interaction, or at least you get to see other heroes around. Because you need to expand the universe. You need to... it's the next logical step. You've shown us that, yes, there are people around, but we just haven't seen them yet. So here we are, gamers, at the final Easter egg, and my most favorite Easter egg in the whole game. It's not a very big kind of Easter egg. I think everyone knew it was here, but I cannot get enough of this. Yes, 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 yes. Avengers Tower, which I do not get sick of running up and swinging past, and just seeing that A there on the side is absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. When Spidey takes the photo here, he says something along the lines of, Avengers Tower is great, but they are hardly around to use it. And then he says something about, I think the Avengers are on the West Coast. So for the comic book fans, you'll know that that's a reference to the West Coast Avengers. So basically there was a time in the comics where you had your normal Avengers team here in New York on the East Coast, and then they brought a certain few heroes then branched off into California onto the West Coast, and then created the West Coast Avengers. 3 heroes that you'll be familiar with that did go over to the West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye, who actually founded the West Coast Avengers, War Machine, and Vision. So there we go, ladies and gents. That is all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Easter eggs in Marvel's Spider-Man PS4. I hope you guys have enjoyed it today. I always enjoy myself. Any chance I get to spout out a little bit of knowledge of this genre that I love so much is always great for me. So once again, hope you enjoyed yourself, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Have a lovely day. Stay blessed. Stay happy. And from me and my pal Spidey, we'll be seeing you soon. Take care.